If he can get through this, so can I. If she can deal with that, so can I. And if people can feel sympathy for this kind of character, I'm glad that there are people out there who can probably feel sympathy for me. So what do you think is the charm point of tragedy? This is a very interesting one. This one isn't fully related to Donghua, but yeah, if you know what kind of Donghua I like, you know I like them angsty. You know I like them painful. When it comes to tragedy, I think there's this general idea that in reality, if a tragedy happens, you can't really enjoy the storyline. You just feel sad. When it comes to fiction, you get to feel that sadness, feel shocked, feel dejected at some of the most painful things you can imagine. And in fiction, they can actually be even more painful than in reality because you get the fantasy settings. I've got so many storylines in Donghua that have to do with immortals, that have to do with characters who have lived like hundreds of years, thousands of years, that have gone through eternal suffering. And I'm laughing at that because I love it. I love the angst. It's something that in real life you just feel sad about, but when it comes to fiction, you can be like, oh, that's so crushing. I relate to this on like a slight level, but not on the full level because nobody can quite go through all of that suffering. You get to see them break down. You get to see them cry. I think that's something very human. It's also one of the things that in my own personal life, I'm not able to cry at my own things too much because I've always got this thing in my mind that like, I don't matter too much. Other people have suffered more than me. So when it comes to me thinking about myself, I'm constantly like, who gives a damn? I don't have time to stop and cry about this. I have to move forward and do the next thing. I feel like that's something that a lot of people have in their lives, that they don't have time to worry about themselves and they can only move forward. But when it comes to their fiction, it becomes like this cathartic moment, this big release of stress when they're able to look at somebody else crying their eyes out, when they're able to look at somebody else lose their love or be destroyed, be beaten down, have the whole world crush them into the ground. There are so many stories like that, and I'm thinking of so many Donghua characters right now who have had the whole world turn against them, who have lost their loves, who have just been abused their whole lives, that we can cry for, that we can relate to. And because of that, you do have a cathartic moment of feeling like, oh, if he can get through this, so can I. If she can deal with that, so can I. And if people can feel sympathy for this kind of character, I'm glad that there are people out there who can probably feel sympathy for me. You feel for those characters, you see them go through their journey, and that helps you move on with your journey. So I like that kind of tragedy. It makes me move forward and be a bit of a better person. Especially when it comes to animation. Animation is such a good medium when it comes to exploring fiction and doing it in very interesting ways, like ways that can also show the emotional state of a character through animation, that can like explore the metaphysical as well as the reality. Do not be led astray, my confidants, and I will catch you guys next time.